You guys had mentioned earlier about investor preferences and how preferences can change. And I'm kind of curious. Do you see the investor preference? How much does that align with the middle market that you usually see? So how much is the alignment from maybe like the smaller retail investor who maybe invests as an LP at maybe 50,000 or 100,000 versus an LP investor that invests at $500,000 or more? Do you typically see that they have the same investor preferences and risk appetite?
Well, I mean, I think they invest in very different ways, right? Once you become a bigger investor in your own right with ticket sizes and these kind of things, you start to discern more individual deals. You have more availability of deal flow. You become more picky, right? At least I've never dealt with the retail spectrum of this, but from what I understand, smaller ticket size investors usually tie themselves to a platform, i.e. maybe a cadre or maybe a GP that they know well, and they stick to that GP. So it's more on a kind of sponsor basis. While as investors get bigger, they kind of just more decide that, this quarter we're going to really focus in on getting some multifamily in the Sun Belt, and let's find a great sponsor that does that. Let's evaluate 5 of them, find the best one. What have they got cooking right now? But as an individual investor, like doing all that due diligence work is incredibly hard. So you're more relying on people to do it for you. So that's why, platforms like Cadre, like bigger funds, REITs, these kind of things are great for smaller investors. And this is obviously not a recommendation. People should ask their investment advisor what they think they should invest in. But that seems to me the way things are moving. It's really hard for, me as a person as well. Like I do this job. But then for my own personal money, if I were to sit down after I'm done in the office and read, more due diligence documentations and try to find the best GP sponsor in the Midwest to do an office building, it takes a lot of time. So that's why people hire professionals to do it. So I think that's the biggest difference, is that once investors become bigger and they become sort of your pseudo institutions, or single family office, or they're part of a multifamily office or something like that, they become more sophisticated in the stuff they look at.
Yeah, that's true. And I've also seen situations where a deep-pocketed LP will actually come in and actually dictate the terms of the split too. They may not like the 65-35 split, and they'll actually dictate that they think it should be more of a 70-30 type split. And I've actually seen that take place because I've seen the documents actually get updated, and I was curious as to why that happened. And I asked one time, and I was told, well, one of the big LPs didn't like the split, so it actually helped all the other LPs.
Yeah, absolutely. Once with big checks comes more power, and something that Jackson alluded to earlier is that there's almost this muddling of the line between the GP and the LP position, with like a pseudo GP LP position, which is an LP position with major decisions or something like that, where you're sitting in the sidecar, like where you have some kind of preferential position, or you have more rights than others. So definitely, as you get bigger, you get more power.